What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We're back with some more Monday Night NFL as well as some Monday Night NBA. Now, I'll go ahead and say this slate for today, not my favorite by any means. You have a lot of blowout potential on the NBA, and then we have a game for the NFL. You guys know how Monday Night Football sometimes goes, and you got the Colts who are missing their quarterback. So we'll see how Phillip Rivers does tonight. I think the game could potentially stay competitive, but we'll talk about all these picks and all these player props here in just a minute. Before we do anything, guys, we got to go to our housekeeping. We always pick a winner from our last video to win free VIP as long as that video hits 250 likes. I will be doing the same thing in this video. If this video gets 250 likes, I will select a random comment down below to win a free month. So make sure you guys drop a like, leave a comment on the video. You do have to be a subscriber to win. We're getting close to 50K, guys. Help me hit that. I'm so appreciative. And let's go ahead and pick our winner from yesterday. So the winner from yesterday's video is going to be for Anthony Henderson, who said great picks night. So Anthony, I hope you had a great night on your picks, man. We hit 3 of our 4 free picks yesterday. A-Chain could not pull out the sweep for us. A-Chain got that rushing receiving touchdown. That was one of the 3 props I liked for him. He had 3 receptions, couldn't get the 4th one. Then he had 90 rushing receive yards, couldn't get 100. And the reason is because they got blown out. Like, the game wasn't even close. Got beat like 45-14 or something. Like, it hurt, but it is what it is, guys. So, Anthony, send me a message on Discord, and I'll get you added for that free month. Now, when we talk about our bet tracker from yesterday, so money lines again, had a profitable day, had $107 profit. I know that's not a lot. What I did is I played 3 teasers, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys in the Discord how I posted my teasers. Here's the way that I posted them. So I played this right here, teaser 1 unit, teaser 1 for 1 unit, teaser 2 for 1 unit, and then teaser 3 for 1 unit. So for teaser 1, I ran a sweetheart teaser. So this allows you, a sweetheart teaser or something like this, it allows you to run 13 points for minus 114 for 4 teams. So I took my 4 teams that I like the most for 13 points. This was the game total for the Cowboys-Chargers game, so I got it at 37.5. I got the Chargers plus 14.5, the Patriots plus 16.5, and the Panthers plus 16. So all these are very, very safe, you would think. Obviously, sometimes this goes wrong and you miss, but sweetheart teasers are one of those where you can get some safe plays. The value's not great. It's minus 140. I made $178 profit off a $250 bet, but I still like to play and I still profited. Same thing for teaser number 3. I had the Patriots and the Chargers. I ran them back for a 7-point teaser instead of a sweetheart teaser. We got the same value for the same profit. The one that missed was this one here. We had the Dolphins and the Lions. I had Dolphins plus 10.5 and the Lions winning. Both of those missed, so that one was just 2X's. So that's all I played for my money lines yesterday. We cashed 2 of the 3. You can see where I posted my 2 wins right here for that one. So yesterday ended up being okay. Prizepicks has been really bad for me. I have not been doing good on Prizepicks the last few days, but to be honest with you guys, Prizepicks is one of my least favorite apps. I play a lot of parlay play. We locked in this Aaron Rodgers and Tyler Shook play yesterday live on video, which cashed. That was $202 profit. We locked in Prescott, Robinson, and Bo Nix yesterday. This was a nice play that we got $250 for $527. Here's our 2 teasers that we won. Profited $100 on our teasers. And then we had a Dak Prescott with Josh Allen on underdog that cashed. That was a free square, $10 max. We have Bo Nix, or a 4-man parlay over on Sleeper for the 40% boost, a nice $360 win. Same thing for parlay play, another double up, and then another double up, a little over a double up on Sleeper. So yesterday ended up being okay. Player props wasn't the best. We still profited on our money line, which is good. So far for the month, this month, I'm currently up $4,600 on the money line. So once again, guys, if you're in the Discord and you are not telling the Sportsbook plays, you are missing out. That is where majority of the money is going to be coming from this month so far, because we're up about $3,000 right now on player props for the month. Player props has been hit or miss. We had more red days on player props than we have on money lines, and Sportsbooks is probably my favorite type of play to play. I enjoy these teasers. I enjoy picking NBA money lines, things like that. So, been killing it. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community. If you guys do want to join, WAP link is down in the description. So, I'm going to pull it up real quick right here. If you guys click the WAP link down in the description, you can see for $10 a week or for $25 a month, you can get our VIP, which is every single play that I personally play. Code NBA gets you 20% off. That's only $8 for a week, and it's only $20 for a full month of using every single play that I post. If I'm up $4,600 at a $250 unit size, if you play $25 unit size, you'd be up $500. If you look at it that way, and that's just on money lines. That's nothing else. So a lot of people have bankrolls where they can play $25 per play. If you want to do it, links down in the description. We'd love to have you guys a part of the community, like I said. The Discord is free to join if you're not in the Discord. We'd love to have you in there as well. Just join with the link down in the description. That being said, let's talk about some of these games, guys. So we're going to start with NFL, then we'll jump over to NBA. So far for NFL, all we have, or not so far, but for tonight, all we have is going to be the Niners taking on the Colts. This one is in Indiana. The Colts are plus 224 underdogs, 5.5 on the spread, and 46.5 on the total. When you look at the money, 80% of the money on both the spread and the money line is going to be on the Niners. So this makes it pretty tough to take them, I will say. But the Colts starting Phillip Rivers, man, can you really trust them here? And when you look at these two teams are pretty much on opposite in terms of how they've been playing. Now, when you look at the last 6 games for the Niners, they've won 5 of their last 6. When you look at the last 6 games for the Colts, they've lost 5 of their last 6. But you also have to look at the caliber of teams they have played. So the Colts just lost to Seattle. They almost beat the Seahawks, one of the better teams in the league, with Phillip Rivers starting. They actually got unlucky to lose that game. They were up with like 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and Seattle, or I think it was like a minute left, Seattle was able to drive down the field and kick a field goal last minute and get it. So that was a lucky win for Seattle there. Colts played well. You look at Jags. The Jags are a strong team that beat them. They lost to Houston. Houston's a strong team that beat them. They lost to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. This is before Mahomes was hurt. So, obviously, that's not a bad loss there in Kansas City. And then they beat Atlanta and lost to the Steelers. So, none of their losses here are against bad teams. When you look at the wins for the Niners, the Titans, how good are the Titans? The Titans put up 24 points on them in the last week. So, Maybe the Titans are doing a little bit better offensively, but the Titans still aren't that strong of a team. The Browns have a good defense, but they're not very strong offensively. Carolina's Carolina. They're not very good either. You look at Arizona, the Cardinals, obviously not a very good team. They beat the Rams, or lost to the Rams. The Rams are a strong team. The Giants are good at times, but what are they, 2-12 or 2-13 or something? The Giants aren't very good either. So none of these dubs that they have are from strong teams. And makes me a little bit weary on this Niners team. Now, I'm kind of leaning on the Niners to win here, but I do think this game is competitive. And for a teaser, that's kind of what I'm looking to run. I'm not going to touch a money line here because with Phillip Rivers, there's a lot of unknowns, man. We don't know how well he can come out here and play. He could come out here and throw for 300 yards. Who knows? He could also come out here and throw for 50. So you got to be careful with that play. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be the one that gets leaned on a lot for this Colts team. I think everybody thinks that as well. I think Taylor should have a pretty dang good game versus the Niners. The Niners defense is okay, but I do think they should have some success here. On the opposite side of things, I think Kittle's going to have a good game tonight versus the Colts. The Colts struggle to stop tight end receptions, and Kittle should have a big game. And then I also think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a good game. So Christian McCaffrey obviously can't he's hard to stop for any team pretty much. And I think he does have some success here tonight versus the Colts. So those are the 3 players that I'm looking at in terms of NFL other than kickers. Kickers, I don't really like PATs in this game because it's a Monday night game, and sometimes they get a little bit sloppy. This game is projected for 46.5 points, so they got it as a pretty high-scoring total. I don't know that I trust it to be a high-scoring game, but we'll see this game. We'll see what happens. Right now, for a teaser, I'm kind of thinking taking the Niners plus 2.5 or plus 3.5, depending on how many points I want to buy on a teaser. I'm taking the under 54.5 or something like that on the total, but I'm not 100% on that yet. I don't know what I'm going to run. I'm going to give it some time, see if these lines move at all to give me a little bit better value, and if they don't, then that's probably what I'm going to end up running. But that's what I've got for that game. Let's go ahead and jump over to NBA and talk about these games because this NBA slate is pretty dang ugly. I'm not going to lie. We got the Cavs taking on the Hornets in game 1. I'm not going to go into super detail of these. I'm not going to talk about all the money in all of them or anything like that. I think the Cavs should win this game. They are potentially missing Donovan Mitchell. I think he's questionable this game. Might be probable. I'm pretty sure he's at least questionable. And they're also missing Mobley. So Mobley's out. Max is out this game. They're missing a lot of players. When you look at the Charlotte side of things, LaMelo's probable. Kalkbrenner's questionable. Sexton's questionable. Donovan Mitchell's probable. He's not questionable, by the way. Merrill's probable. Craig Porter's probable. So getting a lot of their players back. Still missing Mobley. Pretty big loss for the team. But anyways, I think Cavs win at home. I don't think the Hornets are going to come out here and get a dub on them. But I think this game could stay competitive. Pretty high scoring total. So it could be pretty decent for props. Next game is going to be the Celtics versus the Pacers. Now, this is a game you just have to wait for injury news. There's not really much more you can do. You got Brown and Walsh who are both questionable. If Brown doesn't sit, then that leaves some opportunities for other players like Derek White. Derek White's a good one. Peyton Pritchard maybe. So got to look at those. Also depends how close this game stays. If Brown sits, the Pacers might be able to keep it competitive. If Brown plays, the Pacers are just struggling, man. It's in Boston. It's going to be a tough game regardless. But anyways, I'm going to wait for injury news before I do anything at all with that game. Next game is going to be the Mavericks versus the Pelicans. This is a tough game as well, guys. Tough to call on this one. The Pelicans have been looking pretty strong. Playing in New Orleans, even odds on both these teams. The money's kind of split between the middle, so this one could go either way. When you look at the Pelicans, they're on a 4-game win streak. They beat Houston, they beat Portland, they beat the Bulls, and they beat the Pacers. So this is they've been looking pretty decent as of lately. They actually just blew out the Pacers. So looking at the Mavericks have been better. They've been looking decent. They did just lose to the Sixers, but the game before that, they beat the Pistons. So this Mavericks team, you can't count out. Now, the big thing about the Mavericks is they're missing a lot of players. Max Christie's questionable. Cooper Flagg is questionable. Klay Thompson's questionable again. Lively's out. Our Kyrie obviously out. Dante's still out. When you look at the Pelicans, all they have is DeJounte Murray, who's been out all season. Then you got Herbert Jones, who's questionable. So I think Cooper Flagg's going to be a big part of this. If Flagg plays, I'm running Dallas money line. If Flagg sits, I might run the Pelicans. I'm not real sure what I want to do here. I kind of like Dallas even if Flagg sits, but it's getting a little bit scary. And if I plan on running Dallas, I'm probably going to wait for Flagg news because I don't mind if you to get Dallas at like minus 130 or something if Flagg gets ruled in, if that's what the odds become. But if Flagg gets ruled out, you could probably get Dallas for like plus 130, plus 140, which would be a lot better value. So I'm probably going to wait for that, see what happens. But give me the Mavericks here if Cooper plays for sure. That's probably what I'm going to end up running. Now, that is tough, though. Pelicans could win this game. So if you like the Pelicans, just play the Pelicans. But that's kind of what I'm thinking here. Next game we have is going to be the Nuggets versus the Jazz. Markkanen's still questionable this game. Nuggets missing Brown and Aaron. Good gosh, dude, how am I forgetting his name? I want to keep wanting to call him Aaron Jones. Freaking Aaron Gordon. Goodness, hey boy's struggling. But Watson's questionable this game, so missing some of their starting players for sure. Markkanen is really the only one on the Jazz other than Kessler. That's we're too worried about. Kevin Love is resting, but Jazz team struggling, man. They just come off a win versus no, they didn't. They lost to Orlando. Who did I take the Jazz versus and they won? Dallas? Anyways, maybe it was Memphis that I played the Jazz the other day. Anyway, looking at this, I don't really trust the Jazz versus the Nuggets. Nuggets a far better team. Nuggets playing at home. Not really a team that I want to take the chance for upset here. I think I'm just donating a quarter unit if I do this, to be honest with you. You got 70% of the money on the Jazz. Like, a lot of money on the Jazz, though, for an upset. It could definitely happen, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'm willing to donate that half unit today or that quarter unit because I just don't think the Jazz are going to win this game. So, running with the Nuggets here, minus 660 is impossible to play. Not touching the spread on this one. Probably going to be a no bet in terms of sports books. Next game we have is the Grizzlies versus OKC. Another game not going to be touching. Minus 960 for OKC. How can you play that? 80% of the money on them. Anything here, you've got to take the Grizzlies for an upset, I think. Missing so many players, though. The Grizzlies are not very good. Washington just beat them, so, yeah, I'm not going to be taking that either. I think you're just donating a quarter unit or half a unit here as well. So, this is a no-go for me. This game has a blowout potential written all over it, in my opinion, and you won't see me be playing on that game. Next game is going to be the Pistons versus the Blazers. Got Trailblazers plus 210 at home, 6.5 point spread with a 234.5 total. Right now, 90% of the money's on the Pistons. 59% on Portland plus 6.5. Now, to take the Pistons at 90% of the money being there is crazy. They obviously one of the best teams in the league. They're playing against a team that struggled this season a little bit, 43% win rate, but they're on 3 wins in a row. They beat the Kings back-to-back, then they beat Golden State 136-131. Now, they are playing at home. When you look at this team at home, they have a negative record as well, looking at Pistons on the road. The Pistons have pretty much all their losses on the road this season, so Pistons have been struggling a little bit on the road compared to at home, obviously, like most teams do. Jalen Duren is probable. He should play this game. You look at the Portland side of things, Jeremy Grant's questionable, missing Henderson, missing Drew Holiday, missing Dame, and missing a lot of players. So this Portland team is anything or far from healthy, I mean, and getting them at plus 200, I guess you could take a chance there. Portland's had some close games. They just lost to Dallas. They had a close game versus the Celtics. They've had some close games. They really have. So it wouldn't surprise me if Portland pulled this upset at plus 200. I'm still on the Pistons. I'm going to be honest with you. And today's just not one of those days where I'm looking at upsets. Like, I have my days where I see teams, I'm like, yeah, I think this team for plus money is a good play. Today's really just not one of the ones where I'm looking at. So a lot of favorites I like today. Give me the Pistons in this one. I'm not going to be running the Trailblazers. I'm not going to play the spread on this. I mean, if I did, it'd probably be Portland plus 6.5 because I do think it stays pretty competitive. Next game is going to be last game on the slate, is going to be the Magic taking on the Warriors. Warriors are minus 194 at home, 5.5 point spread, 227.5 total. Looking at the money, majority of the money on money line is going to be on the Magic, and on the spread, it's going to be on Golden State. So if you look at these two teams, neither team looking strong as of lately. 2-4 the last 4 games, 1-4 the last 4 games for the Warriors. Warriors coming off of a win versus the Suns. And then the Magic coming off of a win, a 1-point game versus the Jazz, where I honestly had the Jazz for a quarter unit and they didn't pull out the dub, and that one hurt me because they should have won that game, but they could have won that game. I mean, it was very close. Looking at this one, they are still missing Castleton. De Silva's questionable. Suggs is doubtful for Suggs, probably not going to play. Then you got Wagner, who is out. When you look at Golden State, they're just missing Seth Curry and Al Horford. So, in terms of injury news, I don't think the Magic are they almost lost to the Jazz last game. They're playing in Golden State. Golden State's a decent team. I know they're 14-15. They're not looking so good. They dealt with a lot of injuries this season, though. So give me Golden State at home, -194. I don't think the value there is too bad. If you run Golden State with the Pistons money line, you can actually get some decent value, which might be what I end up doing. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% if those are the two teams I'm going to run together. But I'm going to run the Warriors in something. I think they win this game. I don't think the Magic pull out the upset here. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk about our player props. So before we lock in two slips live, which we're about to do over on Parlay Play, take a look down in the description. There are going to be 7 apps you guys can sign up for to get a free month of our VIP. Each one of these apps will give you a deposit match. Some of them will give you free bets, and they all give you free VIP. So you can get up to 7 full months of VIP for free. If you sign up for any of the apps in the description, Better, Parlay Play, Novig, Dabble, Sleeper, Underdog, or Chalkboard, any of those 7 apps, if you sign up, let me know on Discord and send me a screenshot of your deposit, and I'll get you guys added for a free month of VIP, which is awesome. The one I'm pushing a lot right now is Parlay Play. Parlay Play is one of my favorite apps. I keep more bankroll in Parlay Play than any other app, just a refresh so you know I'm not lying about bankroll or whatever. 7,400 is what I have in my bankroll right now. It's been gradually increasing. My goal for the end of the year was 10K in my bankroll, but it's been a pretty slow grind lately on these player props. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get it up to 10 grand. That is, like I said, my goal for the end of the year. But Parlay Play, you do get a $5 free bet if you sign up with our code. You get a free deposit, or you get a deposit match up to $100, and you get free VIP. So highly recommend everybody have Parlay Play. It's one of my favorite apps. Any of the apps down in the description are good. I support all the ones that I'm playing on, and if you guys want to use them, they're down there. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump into our first pick of the day. So we're going to start with NFL, lock in a slip, and then we're going to jump to the other play for NBA. Now, I will say, guys, NFL, this slip could be slightly risky. I don't know how this Monday night game is going to go. I'm a little bit worrisome for me. I'm not huge on this Monday night football game. If I was going to fade one of the slips, I'd probably fade this one. That's be my honest answer. So first pick that I have is going to be for George Kittle. Told you guys I think Kittle has a good game. This Indiana defense has struggled to stop tight ends, especially when it comes to receiving yards. Receiving yards for Kittle so far this season, he's averaging 53 per game. If you look at his last 5 games after coming off of his injury. So looking at the last 5 games, that's really all we have to look at. There's not much data we can go off of other than last 5. You look at our man Kittle, last game versus the Titans, he had 88 receiving yards. Dude had 9 targets with 8 receptions. He was a go-to guy for our man Brock Purdy. I'm expecting nothing less here tonight. I think he has another big game. If you look at Indiana's receiving yards defense, they have the 30th ranked receiving defense in the league, giving up 264 receiving yards per game. If you look at them to tight ends, they have one of the worst defenses in the league to tight ends, giving up 66 receiving yards per game to tight ends. So love this matchup for George Kittle. You can get good value, and this is at 49.5. I actually like him at 59.5, so I'm going to take him to give us 60. It is going to be slightly sweaty. Don't get me wrong. You give this guy 8 receptions, though, he's giving us 60 receiving yards, in my opinion. So let's pull up George Kittle right here. 79.5 is a 2.3x. 67.5 is his original line. I'm buying it down for 1.5x to give us 60. So that's what I'm going to run as our first pick over for NFL. Who am I going to pair Kittle with? I'm pairing Kittle with our man Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor is really one of the only safe plays for the Colts. And I'm not saying it's safe as in he's going to cash it, but I think he definitely gets his usage. We don't know how Phillip Rivers is going to play. Like I said, he could throw for 300 or he could throw for 50. We never know. If he throws for 50, none of the receivers are getting their yards, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's hard to take any receivers in this game. Jonathan Taylor receptions is a little risky in my opinion too, but I think check down passes are going to be the safest thing for our man Phillip Rivers as he gets into trouble. So give me Jonathan Taylor for 89.5 rushing receiving yards. This line he's cashed 10 of 14 games on the season. He's averaging 125. This is a spot where he's getting right at 3.1 targets per game. He had 4 targets his last game and 3 receptions with the first start for our man Phillip Rivers. So I like the odds here that he gets a few receptions. Obviously, his running game's strong. If you look at San Francisco stopping the rushing receiving yards, They have the 13th ranked rushing defense and the 23rd ranked receiving defense, 2 running backs, giving up almost 91 rushing yards per game, and then 34 rushing yard or receiving yards to the running back position. So Jonathan Taylor should have a good look here. I expect him to have a good game, and I'm going to be pulling him up over here on parlay play. So Jonathan Taylor, 89.5 rush and receiving yards. We're going to pair here. It gives us a 1.83x. You guys know some of these plays I've been playing a little bit safer. I'm cool with a 1.8x. Give me that. Kittle for 60. Jonathan Taylor. Let's take it out. We got it locked in live. You guys can see 250 to win 457. So for the next slip, we're going to jump over to NBA. We're going to place an NBA slip too. Lock it in live on video if you guys do want to tell. So I like this slip a lot. The first pick I'm going to run is going to be for our man, Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis is boosted right now on Parlay Play. Another thing I like about Parlay Play is if you come to the promo tab, they have lots of promos every single day. So you can see these are all boosted lines. Jimmy Butler for 18 points, I think is a decent one. I'm not touching SGA for 40 because I think this game could be a blowout, and I'm not touching that at all. So fade that one in my opinion. Jokic for a triple-double versus the Jazz. That scares me for blowout potential. I'm not touching that one. Phillip Rivers, I won't touch. These 2X ones are hard to play. I'm telling you, do your research before you lock them in. But when you look at Derek White and you look at Anthony Davis, if Jaylen Brown sits, Derek White's a very good play. You look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis potentially has Cooper Flagg sitting. This is a good play even if Flagg plays. Garland might be decent for points and assists. So you got some good looks here for some of these promos. Not all of them, though. So Anthony Davis is the one I'm looking at. 10.5 rebounds. Let's pull it up right here real quick. His original line's 11.5. You're getting good value at 10.5. He's cashed this in 62% of games on the season. Now, when you look at his minutes, you got to look at the minutes here and see some of these games, 28, 24. The game stays competitive, which it should versus the Pelicans. You got to think AD's probably getting at least 28 minutes. So I put his line at 28 minutes. If you put him at 28 minutes, he's cashed 8 of 11 games on the season with a 73% hit rate, averaging 12 boards. 3 straight games, 14, 14, and 15 rebounds against some teams that don't give up a lot of boards. When you look at the Pelicans, they give up bottom 10 in the league in terms of rebounds allowed. They give up 45 rebounds per game to the center position. They have bottom 2 defense to the center position, giving up 14.7 rebounds per game to the center, and then 7th in the league to the power forward position, give up 9 boards per game to the power forward position. AD has a good matchup here. I like the odds that he comes out here and cashes this. He's going to be needed. Hopefully he stays healthy in this game, and if he does, 11 boards should be something he gives us. So locking in Anthony Davis, 10.5 rebounds. Next pick that I'm going to pair with Anthony Davis is going to be for our man, Wendell Carter. So I'm jumping over to that Magic game. I think this game stays competitive, but I do have Golden State winning. Give me Wendell Carter to give us 19.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You're looking at Suggs. Suggs is sitting. You look at this team, they're missing so many players. So you're looking at De Silva possibly sitting again. Suggs out. Castleton is out. Wagner is out. When you look at these players being out, even with them playing, you got Wendell Carter hitting this at a 67% hit rate on the season, averaging 22 PRA. The matchup here is not great. 6th and 10th in terms of points and assists, 21st ranked in terms of rebounds. So they give up a lot of boards, not many anything else. You got a center position. They give up a lot of stats at the center. So Golden State struggles versus the center position, 18th in the league in points, 22nd in the rebounds, 21st in assists. So bottom 10 in pretty much every single category. Good matchup. Head-to-head, Wendell Carter's cashed this in 3 straight games versus Golden State. He's averaging 27 PRA in those 3 games. One game from this season, he had 31 points, rebounds, and assists. You come over here to games without Suggs and without Wagner. 2 of 2 games, he's averaging 30 PRA in the 2 games without both those players. You go to games without just Wagner. 4 of 4 games he's cashed, 27.5 PRA. So looking at the odds here, there's no way I could fade this prop. When you see this prop is one of those, in terms of value-wise, maybe the value gets too bad where you can't play it. But in terms of the hit rate, this guy, even if he misses the day, I'd run it back again because he's cashed it every single time when you're missing these players. He's getting a lot of usage, getting big minutes. The game should stay competitive. It's a good matchup versus a team that gives up a lot of stats. There's no reason not to take him unless you just think he has a bad game and you want to trust your gut. That's really the only thing you can think of. So Wendell Carter, I like this play a lot. It's one of my favorite props at 19.5 PRA. Gives us a 1.3x, puts us at a 1.9x slip pretty much. Locking 250 to win 470. Let's place our bet here, and I might run Wendell Carter back on another slip as well. So those are what I got for today, guys. AD and Wendell Carter on a slip. Jonathan Taylor with George Kittle on a slip. Lock them in if you like them. Fade them if you don't. Join the Discord if you're not in there already, guys. We'd love to have you in there. Make sure you guys are a part of our WAP if you want to get the VIP plays. You connect your Discord to WAP, and it gives you access to all the VIP channels in Discord. But that's all I've got for today, guys. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.